In the heart of the whispering woods, where sunlight dappled through a thick canopy of ancient trees, lived a community of animals in perfect harmony. Every morning, the forest awoke to the cheerful songs of Mira the blue jay, her bright blue feathers a flash of sapphire against the green leaves. Raffi the macaque, with his boundless energy, would swing from vine to vine, his playful chatter echoing through the clearings. Elara the deer, the embodiment of grace, would lead her herd to drink from the crystal-clear streams, her warm brown coat blending with the earthy tones of the woods. And watching over them all was Leo, the lion. He wasn't a king by decree, but by character. His magnificent golden mane shone like a crown in the sun, and his calm, kind eyes held a wisdom that comforted everyone. He was a symbol of strength, not of dominance, but of protection. The animals of the whispering woods felt safe under his silent guardianship. They shared stories, played games, and lived their days in a tapestry of peace and friendship. Little did they know, this cherished peace was about to be tested. One evening, a shadow fell over the forest that had nothing to do with the setting sun. A chilling silence replaced the usual symphony of crickets and rustling leaves. A pack of rogue wolves, led by the fierce and formidable Fen, had arrived at the forest's edge. Unlike the noble wolves who lived deep in the mountains, Fen's pack was driven by aggression and a desire to conquer. Their menacing howls sliced through the night, sending shivers of fear down every spine. The once vibrant forest became a place of whispers and worry. Animals huddled in their dens and nests, too frightened to venture out. The laughter of Raffi the macaque was gone, replaced by anxious chitters. Mira the blue jay's songs turned into cautionary chirps. Elara the deer kept her young fawns hidden, her gentle eyes now filled with constant dread. The harmony of the whispering woods was broken, shattered by the icy grip of fear. The community was paralyzed, uncertain of what to do against such a ruthless threat. As days turned into a week of terror, the spirit of the forest dwindled. Hope was fading. But one morning, a powerful roar echoed from the highest rock, a sound that wasn't of anger, but of defiance. It was Leo. He stood tall, his golden mane catching the first rays of dawn, a beacon of courage in the dim light. "We will not live in fear," he declared, his voice resonating with a strength that rekindled a spark of hope in the hearts of the listening animals. "This is our home, and we will protect it together." Myra, inspired by his bravery, was the first to fly to his side. "I will be your eyes in the sky, Leo. I will watch their every move and warn you." Her voice, though small, was filled with determination. Soon after, Raffi the macaque swung down from a branch. "And I'll be your scout on the ground. I'm fast and quiet. I can gather information from the shadows." He puffed out his chest, his fear replaced by a newfound purpose. Elara the deer then stepped forward, her usual timidity washed away by a protective maternal instinct. "My herd and I know every secret path and hidden trail in this forest," she said softly but firmly. "We can guide our friends to safety and help you navigate the woods unseen." A sense of unity began to ripple through the gathered animals. They saw that courage wasn't the absence of fear, but the choice to act in spite of it. Leo's bravery was contagious, igniting a similar fire in everyone else. They weren't just a collection of frightened creatures anymore. They were a community, a team, ready to stand together to defend their home. The forest floor buzzed with a new kind of energy, the energy of shared courage and unwavering resolve. They began to plan, to strategize, their combined strengths creating a defense far greater than any one of them could have managed alone. The moment of truth arrived on a stormy afternoon. Dark clouds gathered, mirroring the tension in the air. A frantic cry from Myra pierced the gloom. "They've cornered a group of young rabbits near the old willow tree. They're trapped." Without a second's hesitation, Leo sprang into action, his muscular form a golden blur against the darkening landscape. He had entrusted Rafi and Alara with guiding the other animals to a secure hideaway, knowing his role was to face the threat head-on. He arrived at the clearing to see Fen and his snarling pack closing in on the trembling rabbits. Leo didn't roar in challenge. Instead, he simply placed himself between the predators and their would-be prey, a silent, immovable wall of courage. "This ends now, Fen." Leo's voice was a low growl, rumbling with authority. "These animals are under my protection. Leave this forest and never return." Fen laughed, a harsh, grating sound. "You, alone, against my entire pack? You are a fool, old lion." With a sharp signal, the pack lunged. The battle was a whirlwind of fur and fury. Leo moved with a powerful grace, a masterclass in controlled strength. He wasn't fighting to destroy, but to defend. He deflected attacks, using his size and might to push the wolves back, creating a barrier around the terrified rabbits. For every wolf he repelled, 2 more seemed to take its place. The fight was grueling, and soon Leo began to tire. A sharp pain shot through his shoulder as one of the wolves found an opening. He stumbled, his strength starting to wane. Just as Fen prepared for a final decisive leap, a symphony of chaos erupted from the trees. Rafi and his entire troop of macaques swung down, pelting the wolves with a barrage of fruits and nuts, chattering loudly to disorient them. At the same moment, Alara emerged from the undergrowth, not alone, but with a dozen stags, their antlers lowered in a formidable line. The wolves, caught completely off guard by this unexpected and coordinated resistance, hesitated. Their confidence wavered. They had prepared to fight one lion, not the entire forest. This was the opening Leo needed. Summoning his remaining energy, he let out a thunderous roar that shook the very ground, a roar that spoke of unity, defiance, and the unbreakable spirit of his community. The combined force of the united forest animals was too much for Fen and his pack. They had expected a single aging lion. They were met with the resilient heart of an entire community. Confused, battered, and intimidated by the unexpected wave of resistance, the wolves turned and fled, their aggressive howls replaced by yelps of retreat as they disappeared back into the shadows from which they came. A hush fell over the clearing, broken only by the sound of the rain and the relieved pants of the brave defenders. The danger had passed. As the storm subsided and the sun broke through the clouds, a wave of cheers and joyful cries swept through the whispering woods. The animals emerged from their hiding places, their faces beaming with relief and pride. They surrounded Leo, not just as a hero, but as a beloved friend. The young rabbits he had saved nuzzled against his leg in gratitude. Rafi chattered excitedly, reenacting the battle with dramatic flair, while Mira circled above, her song once again bright and cheerful. Alara approached Leo, her gentle eyes full of respect. "You taught us something important today, Leo," she said softly. "You showed us that our strength isn't just in claws or speed, but in our love for one another." Leo, leaning on his friends for support, smiled warmly despite his weariness. He looked around at the celebrating animals, at the vibrant life returning to his home. Peace had been restored, but it was a new kind of peace won that had been earned, fortified by a shared struggle and a deeper understanding of their bond. The Whispering Woods was no longer just a place they lived. It was a home they had fought for, together. From that day on, the story of the brave lion and his united friends was told to every new generation. A timeless reminder that true bravery comes not from strength alone, but from the courage to protect others, fueled by love and unity. Thank you so much for watching. If this story touched your heart, please give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more inspiring tales. We'll see you in the next video.